Hello and welcome back to our channel, Pakistan Biography. In this video, we're going to talk about a popular Pakistani politician, namely Qaim Shah. Syed Qaim Shah is a Pakistani politician who served as the elected Chief Minister of Sindh for 3 terms. His last 2 terms combined a total of 8 years, make him the longest-serving Chief Minister of Sindh. He is the Sindh President of the Pakistan People's Party and an elected member of the Provincial Assembly (MPA) from PS 220, Khairpur 1. His early life and education. Syed Qaim Shah was born on 13 September 1933 to Syed Ramzan Shah Jilani in Khairpur. Shah's household was counted amongst Khairpur state's most influential and educated families. After completing his early education at Naz High School, Shah's family married young Shah to a relative. Shah then proceeded to Karachi for higher education. In Karachi, Shah enrolled at Karachi University and received a Bachelor's of Arts degree. Later, he received Bachelor's of Laws from SM Law College. During the course of his studies at Sindh Muslim Law College, Shah benefited from the company and guidance of his then professor Zulfiqar Bhutto, building a bond that will last for the duration of his professor's life. His political career. Shah entered politics on being elected the chairman of Khairpur's district council under Field Marshal Ayub Khan's system of basic democracy in 1960s. His close association with Bhutto led to his joining of Zulfiqar Bhutto's PPP shortly after the PPP's creation in 1967. He contested general elections of 1970 with a PPP ticket from Khairpur Mirs and defeated his opponents, comrade Syed Bakir Ali Shah, provincial president of National Awami Party, Wali, and council member of Communist Party of Pakistan, and Syed Ghaus Ali Shah. Recognizing young Shah's capability, Prime Minister Zulfiqar Bhutto appointed Qaim Shah to his small cabinet as the Federal Minister for Industries and Kashmir Affairs. After General Ziaul Haq's coup d'etat in July 1977, Shah was arrested along with Bhutto and other cabinet ministers. Unlike PPP bigwigs such as Ghulam Mustafa Jatawi, Ghulam Mustafa Khar, Makhdoom Khalil-uz-Zaman, and Mir Hazar Khan Bijurani, who either left the party or became inactive, Qaim Shah remained loyal to the party. During the 11 years of General Ziaul Haq's rule, Shah and members of his family suffered imprisonment, torture, virtual poverty as accounts and lands were seized, and constant fear. Most notably, Shah's politically active nephew, Syed Parvez Ali Shah, attained prisoner of conscience status in Amnesty International's 1985 report for enduring 6 years of torture in General Zia's torture cells. Benazir Bhutto's autobiography, Daughter of the East, records Parvez's ordeal in greater detail. With General Zia's death and Benazir Bhutto's return to the country, Shah was appointed the president of the PPP Sindh in recognition of his services to the Movement for Restoration of Democracy, MRD, and PPP. His landslide victory in the 1988 elections from his constituency, Khairpur Mirs, paved way for his appointment as the 17th Chief Minister of Sindh on 2 December 1988. Subsequently, Shah was elected as a member of the Provincial Assembly (MPA) Sindh in 1990, 1993, 2002, and 2008. He lost the only election of his career in 1997 when the PPP was nearly routed from parliament. Later, he made a bid for a Senate seat and won his first and only Senate term in late 1997. He won 7 out of 8 general elections he contested, becoming a MPA 6 times and member of National Assembly MNA and senator once. Shah completed his second term as Chief Minister of Sindh on 21st March 2013. He was once again for the third time elected to the office of Chief Minister of Sindh after the 2013 general elections. Before that, on May 13, 2013, on the formation of a new provincial setup in Sindh, Shah reiterated that they would continue their reconciliation policy and try to woo all parties to join the government. Not just the MQM, but we will persuade all old coalition partners, including the PMLN, to join the provincial government, he said. He did, however, dispel the impression that the PPP has assured the MQM of repealing the incumbent local government system. 85-year-old Qaim Shah insisted that he was still young. At a press conference, Shah said he was still unaware of who the next chief minister in Sindh would be. Recently, PPP leader Manzoor Vasson said that the next CM would be a young and energetic person. Manzoor Vasson also said that Qaim Shah is young. He told the reporters, "Believe it or not, but I am still young and energetic." In July 2016, the PPP leadership decided to replace Shah with Syed Shah as CM Sindh. His retirement. Syed Qaim Shah's retirement as Chief Minister of Sindh heralds the end of an era spanning nearly half a century. During his tenure, he had the patience and the understanding to take presentations and ask probing questions without unnecessary interruptions. Trained in governance under the dynamic leadership of Shahid Zulfiqar Bhutto, Shah Sahib understood the value of professionalism. He did not allow himself to be complexed by the knowledge that he did not possess of the technical capacity to deal with fiscal issues. He would, however, come alive whenever the discussions and the bargaining turned political. His experience in the 1970s as Sindh's finance minister and as member of the first NFC gave him the advantage of institutional memory that no one could match. Shah Sahib's finest moment arrived during the last hour of negotiations at Lahore. The Sindh team had made all the technical and legal arguments with regard to transfer the GST services to the provinces. However, Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, then NWFP, supported insidiously by some federal officers, were adamant in opposing it. It was then that Shah Sahib showed his mettle. He threatened to walk out and was conciliatory at the same time, and the lawyer in him insisted on particular wording of the draft declaration so that the intent was not to be subverted subsequently. The final agreement was initialed by all the parties at around 11:30 p.m. Politics and governance has now been reduced to polemics and patronage distribution. However, trained in development era of the 1970s, Shah Sahib had his focus on the real purpose of governance. Of course, there were insurmountable challenges such as pressures from the party leadership, for whom development appeared to be secondary, and from MPAs clamoring for funds for their constituencies that left little for the province-wide mega projects. Despite the constraints, Shah Sahib has two major developmental achievements as a part of his legacy. One is the setting up of the Sindh Revenue Board (SRB) and its resounding achievement, and the other is Hyderabad-Mirpur Khas Highway. They are both historical and will outlast his tenure and his life for decades to come. After the successful transfer of GST services to Sindh, the challenge was to prove that the province was able to shoulder the new task for which it had fought so hard. He made two key decisions. He placed the SRB in the Chief Minister's Secretariat and, despite pressures to the contrary, appointed a professional team to head and manage it. It was a luxury he did not always have. The SRB's success is a testimony to his wisdom. The other landmark achievement was the building of the international standard 62-kilometer Hyderabad-Mirpur Khas 4-lane highway on the public-private partnership basis. The build, operate, own, transfer, BOOT agreement with an international company was unique in the sense that the highway has been built with minimal financial burden on the provincial government during the construction phase as well as for a lease period of 30 years. Needless to say, there was fierce opposition from vested interests within the government. However, Shah Sahib faced off all pressures and saw the project to a successful conclusion. Again, this was a luxury he rarely had. Today, the Hyderabad-Mirpur Khas highway stands as a testimony to what Sindh can achieve given honest political commitment. His personal life. Shah has had 3 wives. His first marriage was arranged by his family during his teenage years to a cousin. After Shah completed his education in Karachi, his family, in accordance with the customs of the day, arranged his second marriage to Husn Afroz Barohi, sister of A.K. Barohi. Neither of his wives outlived him. Husn Afroz suffered from breast cancer and died in the late 1970s, and Shah's first wife died from terminal illness a few years later. After several years as a widower, Shah contracted his marriage to his current wife according to the wishes of his family and friends. Syed Qaim Shah has 4 sons and 7 daughters. Politician Nafisa Shah is his daughter from his marriage to Husn Afroz. This was all regarding Syed Qaim Shah. To watch more such exciting and informative videos, subscribe to our channel. Thank you all for watching.